Alright, so this is my third time now shooting this. Tried to do it twice on the Mac, but both times it froze. Anyway, so it's Thursday the 28th of September 2017. This is going to be my second video of this style. I just want to say a massive thank you to anyone that watched the first video and for so much positive feedback. It's real good encouragement to know that I am actually doing the right thing and I'm quite comfortable doing it. Now, today I wanted to talk about science. So, Google's definition of science is the intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. Now, it clearly says the study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world. Okay, so what science proves is correct. Okay, I can live with that. That makes perfect sense to me. But what doesn't make sense is why people seem to hold science as almost like a god. You know, look at the religion, Scientology. Okay, so first off, let's understand science itself. What does science actually mean? Like, what does it really mean? What does it actually do? Well, it's basically a mimicking system. It learns and understands how something works to then mimic. So by that very same understanding, science does not create anything ever. Okay, let's pay close attention to that. Science does not create anything. Everything that is, was, or will be already is. Okay, let's take flight for example. Okay, so we can fly now, right? I've seen these videos of hoverboards and jetpacks. Yeah, we can fly. But nature already did that before us. That's what birds have been doing. Nature has the key to everything, and all science ever really does is it learns how it works and synthesizes a formula to recreate it. Unless it can't. Prime example, flat Earth versus globe Earth. Now I know some people are like, oh, don't go there. No, I'm not getting into the flat Earth thing. Not today. But let's just look at science for a second. It says studying of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world. Can you state anything natural about something spinning and attracting things to it? Funny that. Anyway, so why do we allow science to lead the way? Why? People say it's our natural evolution. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But the bottom line of it is, it doesn't know everything. For decades, centuries, we've done things one way because scientists have told us that that's how it should be. Just for, 5, 10, 15 years later for us to find out that actually they got it wrong. As science usually does. Funny that, but nature doesn't get it wrong, does it? Nature has things exactly the way it was designed to work, and things work in accordance to how they were designed. Not accidentally, but designed to work. Everything relies on something else to be what it is. But scientists say, okay, so this is what we understand, and this is how it works. Until some years later we find out, nope, that wasn't the way. Diesel, prime example. Yeah, it's good. I mean, most of us knew diesel was bad because our own common sense would tell us that smoke coming out of that truck does not look healthy. But hey, science said it was fine, so we did it. And now, well, if you're in England, you know how that goes, right? But we have to look past it. We really do. Like, it's not everything. We're so much more than what science tells us. Just because it hasn't figured it out yet doesn't mean that nothing else exists. I mean, it clearly states the behavior of the physical and natural world. So what about the supernatural? What about the non-physical? The things they can't account for? The energies that we feel? Science can't prove that. Does that mean it's not real? Well, I mean, relatively speaking, science can't prove it, at least anyway. You know, it's the big debate, is there a God, is there not? Science can't prove there is, so that means there isn't, according to most. But we've all seen miracles. We've all heard of miracles. There's a lot more to life. I just feel the deeper down the rabbit hole that we go with science, the more we're lost. You know, the last video I did was the more you have, the less you are, and it leads very well into this, because this is exactly the case. The state that we live in today, are we better off than where we were? See, I don't know. I beg to differ. I just see that the better science gets, the more like zombies we become. At what point are you going to realize that all science does is takes you away from nature, the thing we're designed to be a part of? You know, I'm a culprit of this myself. I'm quite a gadget geek. I think it's fascinating how it works, but don't let science be your god. Don't let it take you away from what you're here to do. I'm not here to question and argue about religions, but don't let it take you away from being who you are, feeling the natural things around you like all other animals do. Science, most of the time, seems to be wrong. I mean, especially mainstream science, gosh, don't get me started on that. So, the big new thing, and I say new thing because it's been going on for about 2 decades, but it's new because now it's in the mainstream media, loosely speaking at least anyway. It's this thing called geoengineering, solar geoengineering. Operation Solar Shield, that's it. AKA chemtrails. So, fascinatingly enough, science decided that what they were going to do to block out the sun from this global warming that we're experiencing is to spray the air with nanoparticulates, strontium, barium, aluminium. And if anyone knows anything about aluminium, it's been proven time and time again to cause cancer. So tell me, why would we spray it? That's right, because science says so. That means we're all breathing in a substance that's proven to cause cancer. And everyone's okay with that. It's crazy. I just don't understand. All you have to do, people, is just, when you go outside, look up. Just look up. Stop looking at your phones. Look up. You'll see it. Chemtrails are everywhere. And they've been this way for nearly 2 decades. Year after year, I see it every year. We all remember being at school and looking up on the bench, laying on the bench, looking up and seeing blue skies and white clouds in the summer. Yeah? It's not there anymore. Some days you're lucky and they don't spray. I went out cycling 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks? No. A week and a half ago. And it was about 9 o'clock. I got out and the sky was absolutely beautiful. Like really, really Just such a bright and powerful blue. The clouds were white and they were clean, and you could see them. There were about 3 clouds in the sky. It was so clear. The sun, the light was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. And then I looked over to my left, and I saw the first chemtrails. Now, whenever I go outside, I always look at what the sky looks like, and then 6-7 hours later, what it turns into. Now, that was 9 o'clock. By 11 o'clock, I kid you not, bearing in mind I'm outside cycling, the sky is covered. It's about 90% covered. No, sorry, no, that was by 10 o'clock. By 11, it was completely gone. And then that following afternoon, we had massive winds and rain. So that was very interesting. But just look up at the chemtrails. You'll see them. They're not condensation trails. Okay? If you look at any plane going past, the condensation trail, from what I've seen, maximum of 15 to 20 times the length of the plane will be the condensation trail. And it will disappear. It will only stay about that distance away from the plane. Now, the chemtrails, on the other hand, you'll notice that they don't go anywhere. They don't. They thin out and they start to merge into one. So all you have to do is just look up. Again, there are no straight lines in nature, right? So there's no straight clouds. There is no straight line in nature. Doesn't exist. Doesn't happen. I think the only thing that you could probably say is straight in nature is the horizon and sea level. Again, that whole flat Earth, globe Earth thing. Anyhow, I digress. So, look up and see it. But don't let science confuse you. It doesn't know everything. It really doesn't. These men ponce around in their white lab coats, and we listen to everything that they say. You see in the newspaper, oh, science says this is bad for you. 2 weeks later, no, science says this is good for you. Well, which one is it? I'm in the health and wellness industry, and it's fascinating because today, this diet's good for you. A week later, no, that diet's really bad for you. But this is all coming from the scientists. And we're supposedly so advanced and so clever that we could design the most complicated systems with the most high-tech of computers, but we still don't know how we're supposed to be eating. Come on. Where's the science? How does that make any sense? If scientists are still in debate about how we should be eating, then can you please tell me why we listen to science for everything else? Why? Today it's one thing, tomorrow it's something else. Then why are we listening? Why do we follow everything they say? And if they don't mention it, it's not real. I've seen things that are not real. And I'm sure some of you have as well. Not real. Ever seen a ghost? Let science reproduce a ghost. An actual ghost. It's not what you think it is. Just look up. Be aware. See what's going on around you. See that these people don't actually have an idea of what's really going on. Okay? Look up. See it. Guys, if you watch all the way to the end, thank you very much, and I appreciate your feedback. Have a good day.